It's the Santana Show. Interesting guests and insight in good conversation with Naomi Santana. Lock in. Listen. Engage.
Thank you for tuning in. My special guest today is Billy Floyd. Billy is a host and former morning anchor. He used to work at KTWO TV in Wyoming, and he also worked at a news station in Eugene, Oregon. Billy received his bachelor's degree in communications from Marist College and is currently working on his own podcast called Who's on the News. Billy, welcome to the show.
Oh my goodness, I'm on the Santana Show. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Naomi, you're doing a phenomenal job talking to people, expanding your horizons, being yourself. It's so beautiful to see others going for what they want to go for. You were put on this planet to fulfill your destiny, Naomi, and you're doing it, and I get to be a part of it. I'm all in, baby. Let's roll.
Thank you so much. All right. So, who or what inspired you to get into the journalism industry?
Oh, man, it's a little bit of that family heritage. So, Naomi, I'll put it for you like this. My father is an evening news anchor at WRGB CBS 6 in Albany, New York. He met my mother in Kingston, New York when they were co-anchors together before I was even born. That's how they met. They dated. The rest is history. And my mom's father was the longtime big face killer of New York City, the lead anchor for CBS and Fox. He goes by the name of Ernie Anastas, a true gem in the world of journalism. He recently retired, but my whole life, my father was in the news. My mom, obviously, they met through the news. My grandfather in the news. I just thought, hey, what else am I supposed to do? I can't not go into the news. So throughout my college experience, I went in to Marist College looking to become a sports personality, perhaps. I majored in sports communications, but I didn't do anything related to sports or news or TV. I just lived the life I wanted to live. I went out, I played basketball, I had best friends, great relationships, and then about the last semester or so, the second to last semester of college, I was like, guy, figure it the heck out. What are you going to do when you graduate Marist? So I grabbed my best friend, Sam Parties. I said, dude, I've done like 5 things on air total in my life. We got to make some videos because I got to make a reel so I can find an on-air job because I guess I have to go into news. So we made packages covering stories around campus, all shot on an iPhone. I put the things together, made a completely BS reel, applied to over 200 news jobs day in and day out. I would sit on TV jobs, apply to positions at top markets, mid markets, low markets. And Naomi, I got one offer to be an MMJ in Casper, Wyoming. And I took it. I didn't research the area. I didn't take any time to know what the heck goes down in the Cowboy State. I just said, yes, Mark Hyman, the news director at the time, I'm in. And a week after graduation in June of 2018, I moved to Wyoming, and the rest is history. That's how I got into the news.
Wow, that's fascinating. I love how you said that you didn't research anything about the state and you just went for it. That's perfect.
Oh, just went for it, baby. And that's what I really loved the most, is having no expectations. I just knew, okay, I don't have any interest in news. I want to be on television. I want to be well known so I can impact people. I think this is the route to go. I didn't want to second guess myself. I didn't want to learn more about anything. I was set. I'm going to Casper. I'm going to be on air. I'm going to try to touch the hearts of a community in some way. And I don't even know that way yet. And it just worked out. It was the best 2.5-year experience of my entire life. Oh my goodness. I didn't expect anything. I wasn't let down. There was nothing to go into it with. It was just be Billy Floyd and make things happen like you always do. And that's what I did. And it was spectacular.
That's fantastic. Um, so, what did you enjoy most about your job?
Naomi, this job was a job that nobody else in TV got to experience. I'm not a journalist, Naomi. I'm not a journalist. I don't tell those package stories. That's not me. I don't report on crime. I don't know what's going on in politics. I don't know what government is. I don't know. I really don't even know the terminology. I have no clue. What I am is I'm a communicator. I'm someone who likes to tell heartwarming stories, help people share their story. So my job was the morning news anchor in Casper, Wyoming, market 197. Now, instead of being a traditional news anchor where you're reading news for an hour and a half and it's mostly about current events and, the hard stuff and the yuck and the negativity. No, no, no.
Tragedy and murder and all of that.
Not for a morning newscast. So I had the privilege of being the producer and the lead anchor. And with this position, I said, you know what? Let's make this about the people. Let's make it about Casper, about the Cowboy State, about the communities. So what I did is we had news, sure, but I brought in all of these guests from all over, teachers, parents, people with organizations, kids, athletes, restaurant owners, you name it. I made the show about the community by having guests on so they could share their story, talk about whatever it is they're doing, get people excited to come to their events. And it was so communal. It was so wholesome, and everybody wanted to come on the show. We had food trucks in the parking lot. We came up with our own segments. We did trivia games. We did contests. We had battles here and there, all things fun. So I really made it more of a Today show like Hoda Kotb would put on rather than the traditional news program of reading the dark stuff. And in Wyoming, I starred in that role. The people loved what we did. We loved the people. It was an experience unlike any other. It was a hosting position, not a news position, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
It was out of this world. I mean, every day I would come into work at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I would produce the whole show, and I would put graphics together, and I would slot the interview guests in different roles when it comes to the rundown. And the show would kick off at 5:30. We'd run through our news, we'd run through sports and some business news, and then the next hour guests would arrive. They'd ring the doorbell. I'd go get them. I'd greet them. I'd bring them into the studio. I would sit down, do a live interview. My co-anchor would do a live interview, and we go back and forth. 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 guests per show. It was all live. It was all genuine. It was truly spectacular. Making those real life connections for the people with the people, real impact, not just being on air telling these dark stories, but really highlighting the greatness of what's around everybody. I wouldn't have had it any other way.
How was your position in Oregon different from the one that you had there in Wyoming? Was it what you just said? Was it like the dark stories? How did it differ?
Oh, Naomi,
Mhm.
get ready for the dark abyss that some call rock bottom, but I would call paradise. Yes, I'm a psycho, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Naomi, let me explain this. So you know how the industry goes. That was my first job in television. Market 197. I was making $19,000 a year. So after my contract ended, it's time to move up in markets, be in front of a bigger audience, make more money. It's your next step in the industry. And I know I'm not a journalist. I know I'm a host, but I got a position in Eugene, Oregon, market 117 as the morning news anchor. Now, this job, the complete opposite of my position in Wyoming. I was a solo morning anchor in Oregon. We had a meteorologist. Well, she was technically a weather gal because she didn't have her degree in meteorology at the time. Still a weather person. Have to get the terminology correct to respect the meteorologist because that title is prominent. But Genevieve Melzer is one of my best friends ever. We did the show together and we would have 2 chats maximum per show. Other than that, it was me and a teleprompter for 2 hours straight. Now, this is from October 2020 when I got there until about February 2021. Now, think about that era of time: injustice, politics, corona,
Coronavirus.
all the murder, all the misery, all the negativity for 2 hours a day. I'm
Oh my
reading
goodness.
about this. No interviews, no fun, no laughs, no real banter, no co-anchor, nobody by my side. It was absolutely awful. And it was just killing my mental health. And for 3 months straight, I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. Now I was like, no, dude, you can do it. This is just the next step in the process. You got to keep going. You got to suffer. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm not here to suffer and I'm not here to settle. Heck no. I gotta figure something out. So when I got to that point of like, wow, these 3 months have been the worst 3 months ever. First off, I appreciated every second because I never experienced such terror, such darkness in my life. I loved it because my whole life has been being on the news in Wyoming, sports and fun in college and high school, the best friends I've ever had, great family members, wonderful, loving relationships with women. My whole life was just flowers and butterflies. And for the first time ever, it was real pain, real disaster. My heart was broken. I had just gotten out of a relationship as well with my ex-girlfriend from Wyoming. I moved to Oregon, break my own heart. The job stinks. Everything's shut down. The gyms are closed. You can't eat inside. It's raining every day. There's no way to make friends. There was no homie of mine at the news station, only a couple ladies who were my best of pals, but no real bro who I need in my life. I need a bromigo. I had nothing, Naomi. So after my 3 months of disaster, I had to figure something out. You know what I figured out? You know what was the next step, Naomi?
Who's on the news?
Who's on the news, baby? I'll tell you that story real quick as well. So after 3 months of just hating my life, I never gave up because I know that things don't last forever. All the beauty, it didn't last forever. Relationships, friend groups, college, it all comes to an end. You move on. So
Mm-hmm.
I knew this terrible time would eventually end. But around early December, my best buddy, Danny Ball, who was back in Albany at the time, hit me up and said, hey, if you want to do a podcast with me, I'm looking to start podcasting. I want to produce, I want to put something original together. And I was like, well, dude, like, perfect timing because I hate my job and I need something on the side to run up that can resemble Good Morning Wyoming. But I need to think of a good idea for a podcast. I can't just do like, the Billy show where he's talking about sports and reality and, famous people and music and pop culture. It's like everybody's already doing that. So what's original? What can I do? So for a month, I thought and I thought and I thought, and I couldn't come up with anything. Then randomly on Christmas Day, 2020, the idea of who's on the news popped in my head. I came up with it. I told Danny about it. He loved it, loved it, loved it. And then about a week or so later, I pitched it to my news director and my general manager. I actually recorded the pilot episode with Amy Lansky as a demo so they could see what the episode and the platform would look like. They wouldn't listen to it. They said, Billy, it's a conflict of interest. You can't do this because you're promoting other news talent that isn't a part of our station. So you can't
Mm.
go forward with this show. And I took 1 second. I went to the bathroom. I hysterically cried. I broke down and I couldn't really understand what was happening. Why is this happening to me? I put my life into being positive and being Billy Floyd. So I said, okay, I'm 24 years old. This is a week or so after Christmas, the new year, 2021. Why would I stay in a job in a situation where I know I'm settling? I can just go for it. Yeah, I have to break everything down, move all the way back home, come to my parents' basement, live in my childhood room with Derek Jeter and baseball stuff posted everywhere like I'm 10 years old all over again. But would I rather chase my passion and not care what anybody else thinks? Or would I rather live a job and a life where, yeah, I'm on air, yeah, on Instagram, I'm popping in a suit and tie on set, but I'm miserable every day? I'm faking it for what? Society? I don't care. Nobody cares about me. So why am I going to care about others in that sense? I got to do me. So the next day, I went in there, told them I'm quitting, told them I'm done. I was there for another month or so. And then at the end of February, got the heck out, moved back to Albany, New York in the beginning of March. And ever since, I've been doing what I love every single day, knowing I'm going to fulfill my destiny. How about that, Naomi?
Woo, yeah, love that. Gotta pursue the passion. Like you said, you can't stay in a job that's going to make you miserable. That's just not how it works.
You can't stay in any job, any situation, any relationship, any friendship if you're not happy. Naomi, the amount of people I know who are working a job because they think they have to have this title or impress their parents or go forth with what they got in college, whatever degree it was. I know people who are in relationships and they talk about how much they fight with their partner, how much they wish they could be with other people, how they have crushes on other people. What the heck? I know people who are friends with other people who are so negative and they don't want to be in that friend group anymore, but they think they have to people please and stay in friend groups and do things they don't want to do. Why are you prioritizing other people?
Other people,
Why are you
exactly.
tailoring your life to others when you decide, Naomi, to fully live life for yourself? Yeah, that sounds selfish, but it's not. You choose you, and then everybody else around you wins. Your family, your real ones, the people you're impacting, the people you're talking to, everybody wins. So screw tailoring your life to other people because you don't want to break somebody's heart. You don't want to let somebody down. Oh, you don't want to not be there. No, do what you have to do to live your life at the highest capacity. None of the sugarcoat stuff. Live your life as you want to, and then everything else falls into place.
Exactly. That is very true. I have a friend who told me, I think the exact same thing. You can't tailor your life to like the expectancies of other people because you're not trying to make other people happy. You're trying to make yourself happy, you know? Live the life you want to live. Do what you want to do. Anyway, people still going to talk about you, what you do, what you don't do. He was like, you just have to live the life that you want.
That's exactly it. And with what I'm doing, Who's on the News is the greatest experience ever because I get to connect with the most talented people every single day, whether they're on the podcast or they're on my Instagram live. Now I'm here sitting with you, talking to you, being on your program. It is the greatest thing, Naomi. And here's a little tip for you: never do anything for that title, for the money, for the clout, for the attention. Because with my platform, I don't care if you've never listened to Who's on the News. I don't care if you've never liked a post. I don't care if you've never tuned into an Instagram TV live. I don't care. All I care about is that you see me posting and interviewing and going the hardest. And when you see that, I want you to be inspired. I want you to be like, wow, there he goes again, posting. There he goes again, interviewing. There he goes again, working every single day. I want you to sit there and be like, holy cow, what am I doing? Why am I not fulfilling my destiny? Why am I not chasing my passion? When people come up to me and say, Billy, I see you posting. It made me want to go harder today. It made me wake up earlier to write, to read, to whatever. That is the love I'm looking for. I don't care if you watch. I don't care how good or bad or whatever you think it is. I just want you to see the work and I want you to be inspired because you need to do whatever you love the most every single day and figure it out. Figure out a way to make that the priority. Why would you not do what you love more than anything? Come on now, Naomi. Come on, baby.
Billy, that sounds just exactly what I think, though. Like, I really don't, it doesn't really matter to me if people watch my interviews or if they start watching and they don't watch until the end. I'm like, well, I'm just doing it because I love to do it, you know? And I post on Instagram, not as often, but I do post. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if people watch it or not.
It will never matter because when you get those clicks or likes or follows, whatever it is, that's a numbers game. People are obsessed with the numbers, salaries, followers, amount of likes, the age you have to be when you get married, the age you have to be when you have kids, the age that you can't be to go fulfill your dreams by chasing what you want to do. What rule book is this? Show me the rule book where the numbers matter. I've been there. I have had a couple viral videos. I've had a couple follower surpluses. It doesn't do anything. It's a sugar high. For 2 minutes, it's like, holy cow, here's a little bit of fame. But there's no such thing as shortcuts, Naomi. You can't shortcut your way to the top. If you want to win, you got to
Exactly.
start from the
From the
freaking bottom. I was in
and
Wyoming,
go
the
step by
bottom.
step.
Exactly. In Wyoming, I'm at the bottom, dead bottom, market 197. And what do? I build up and up and up and build this show and connect. And everybody knows who I am. I know everybody. You know what, Naomi? I won Best Anchor of the Year in 2020 in Wyoming. It doesn't matter. Who cares? That's irrelevant. That's the least of my concern. I've won an award and it means nothing because what actually matters is the connection and the love and the trust I had with that community. And I built it to the sky and it was the best time. And I thought, oh, to go even higher, I got to make a television jump, go to a higher market. Nope, that's not it. I went to Oregon and it was awful. So what did I have to do? Move back to Albany and start all the way back down at the bottom and build and network and connect and interview and plot and scheme up and build WOTN. There's no shortcut, no viral video, no amount of followers, no amount of anything is going to take you to where you actually want to be. True fulfillment comes from when you start doing what you love every day and you never, ever stop.
Absolutely. Have you faced any challenges when you were when you were host or like during your podcast? Have you faced any challenges?
There's been so many difficulties, Naomi, and that is the battle in your own brain. Because when you decide to go for it, when you decide to be all in on your dreams, you're only listening to yourself. You're not letting anybody else in. But every day, there's that bug in your head trying to tell you, you can't do this. What are you, nuts? What are you, crazy? And you're surrounded by so many others who try to make you feel like a nut job. Well, Thank you very much. I am a nut job. I am out of my mind. I am a certified psychopath. Yes, that is evident. No duh. But when you're going through every single day, you wake up and some days you have all the energy and you're so positive. But some days you wake up and it's like, wow, I got to do this again. But that's where the discipline comes in. You have to be disciplined because positivity is not going to be there for you every day. You can't rely on motivation. That's a sugar high again. You can't just wait to be motivated to go do everything you want to do because every day you're not going to be motivated. It doesn't matter if you're the best basketball player ever. It doesn't matter if you're the best singer ever, the best host, the best personality. It doesn't matter. You're a human being. Every day you're not going to be motivated. There's going to be days where your mind is playing all these devious tricks on you, trying to F you up, but you have to show up. You have to wake up when you wake up, hit the gym, eat right, do whatever it is you do. I got to interview people. I got to make videos. I got to create content. I got to share positive messages every single day. It doesn't matter what people try to tell me. It doesn't matter what those demons in my head try to tell me. I know I'm the greatest, and you're the greatest too. I'm in my own reality. That's why I'm the greatest. In your own reality, you're the greatest. We need to look ourselves in the mirror, Naomi, because we're the only ones who know what we're going through every day, whether I'm in the car, in the mirror while I'm brushing my teeth. When I'm done, I look at myself and say, man, Billy, I'm so freaking proud of you. Look at you. Look at you. After everything you've been through, everything you fought past, all the success you've had, all the failures, you're here today. You have an opportunity to change someone's life. You can hop on a call with someone and speak and share a vibe, and you can impact another human. What a freaking privilege. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about what others think. Don't worry about your follower count. Don't worry about views. Just worry about being Billy Floyd. Because when Billy Floyd is Billy Floyd, oh, that's trouble, baby. The best form of trouble. Only positive trouble. Oh, it's the best. You got to reinforce. You have to tell yourself how proud you are, how grateful you are for everything, because all those dark people and negative things in your brain, they're going to try to mess with you every single day, but you can't allow it. Never, Naomi, never.
Absolutely. That is so true. You have to, like you said, stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, you got this, you can do this. You have to tell yourself you're proud of yourself. If not, you've let, like those negative thoughts come in and take over you.
I'm not going to rely on other people to tell me, Billy, great job. Billy, I'm so proud of you. No, you can't expect anything from anybody. So if you're doing things looking for compliments, looking for love, and then you don't get it, you're going to resent everything that you're doing because then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Do everything for you. That seems like it's so negative and selfish. If you have that mindset, you're part of the problem. And I'm here to hopefully help you see that you need to just pick yourself so you can go all the way. And it takes time. You need patience. You need the right people. You need to trust. And once you know that you have to start from the ground up and build and build and build, you're going to do it. But you have to buy in. It's easier said than done, but it's that simple.
Absolutely. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self?
Ooh, I love this one because I have no regrets ever because everything happened for a reason. I'm here where I am today based on everything I did do and didn't do. So it's hard to really think about what I would say to my younger self. But I guess my answer would be screw everybody, because nobody
Perfect.
cares about you. Your family, your parents birthed you. Of course, you are their everything. But even your best friends, your closest allies, yes, I would do anything for them. I love them to death. That's different. But everybody else, nobody cares about you. Everybody cares about themselves. I care about myself. Think about your life. All you're thinking about is, how do I do this better? How can I get here? How can I find love? How can I make this happen? You're not thinking about, oh, how's Naomi doing it? How's da 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 doing it? You don't care. So I never should have let anybody's opinion ever get to me. And I did the best I could back then. Now I've obviously gotten way better, because obviously I don't give a crap about what anybody says or doesn't say about me. But really, it's not a negative thing when you say, oh, screw other people. But seriously, screw them. You do you. You please yourself, because you can't rely on pleasing everybody. You could be Tom Brady. You've won 7 Super Bowls, right? You've won all these Super Bowls, and there's still people that hate him. You can't please everybody. You are the greatest quarterback of all time, and you have people that hate you. You can't please everybody. Tom Brady only pleases himself. That's why he's the greatest. I want to please myself because I know I'm the greatest in my own reality. I'm the king. So screw everybody. That's it. Duh.
Absolutely. That is so true. So, what tips or advice would you give to someone interested in pursuing a career in journalism?
When it comes to TV news, you have to love news and you have to love storytelling. For me, I'm not a journalist. I don't tell stories traditionally like news people do. I got into the business and I was an MMJ for 2 months in Casper and I hated it. I was like, what the heck? My hours stink. My off days are Wednesday, Thursday. I'm an MMJ carrying around this tripod and camera. I hate it. And luckily for me, the morning news anchor abruptly quit out of nowhere. And they asked me to take over the morning show, and the rest is history. So it was all meant to be. Thankfully, I was put in that position because I'm not a news person. So I got to make it my own. I became the host. I wasn't a journalist. So if you want to go into TV news, you're not going to get that personality type job in a small market like I did. I was very, very fortunate. So if you're starting your news career, you have to absolutely love telling stories and be down for all the negativity, because I know so many people in the industry, Naomi, who want to be like me, someone who wants to be on air, wants to be, I guess, famous or well known. The reason why I want to be well known is because I want to impact as many people as humanly possible. So if you're on that same wave as me, doing it as a news anchor or a reporter isn't the ticket, because you can only tell stories that your station wants you to tell. Now, I get to tell whatever story I want. I can curse, I can say whatever I want. There's no rules. So if you're someone who doesn't look at yourself as a true journalist, don't go into news. Start your own thing. Social media is everything. Podcasting is everything. You build from the ground up and you believe in yourself. But if you do love the traditional journalism route, I would just say be ready for anything. Be ready for your schedule to change at the blink of an eye. Be ready to work extra hours. Be ready to be a team player. Be ready for anything that comes your way. You have to know that I love news if you're going to be a local television anchor or reporter.
What tips would you give on ad libbing? I don't know if you did a lot of ad libbing when you were morning anchor or not, but what tips would you give?
I got one for you. Here's my tip. It's hard to ad lib when you're on air, on television, because you just want to be yourself. But there's that little bug in your head that's exiting out all the things you can't say. And that makes thinking and talking so much more of a challenge because now you have to tailor what you say for other people. Like we said before, I'm not tailoring my life to anybody, but I had the best experience ad libbing on air because at the end of the day, I stayed true to myself. I was never inappropriate. I didn't care if I messed up. I didn't care if it sounded silly. I was just as much of me as humanly possible, which is really hard to do when you're on local news. But here's a tip that's off air that really helps your brain. It stimulates your brain. It gets things flowing. It gets words and speaking this much easier. Here is what I do, Naomi. You can take it or leave it. But every day after I leave the gym, I get in the car and I put on however many instrumentals I possibly can put on for my 12-minute commute from the gym to back home. And I freestyle rap every single day. When you freestyle rap, you're thinking so quick, what rhymes with what sentences flow, what makes sense. And sometimes it's an abomination. Sometimes it's fire, but it gets your brain stimulated. It gets your brain thinking. You're by yourself, you're in the car, it gets things flowing. I was rapping back in Wyoming with my best friend Carmine. He introduced it to me. We would freestyle every day together. And I like doing it so much because it helped me as an ad libber. It helped me as a communicator because things just came to me more clearly. So every day now, to sharpen my skills and stay in tune, I freestyle rap every day for about, 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll do it twice a day just to stay on point. So there's one little tip I can give you, Naomi.
That's a pretty cool tip. Pretty fun too.
Try it. Oh, you'll love it. It's going to be terrible at first. Like you are going to stink. Like think about something that you stink at. You're going to be 20 times worse at freestyle rapping. I was the worst freestyle rapper ever when I started. And now the skills, I feel confident. I'm getting better and it's more fun. But most importantly, it's keeping me in tune with my brain, my soul, and just speaking in general. So try it and tell me how bad you were. And then try it again and again and again and again.
I will definitely try that. Okay, so Billy, before we end our interview, I have a little game for you. It's called, or I'm
Oh,
calling it the 3-2-1 speed game.
yes, yes. I love it. I'm all in. What a
Gotta involve
genius idea.
a little bit of your work that you're doing. So, are you ready for the 3-2-1 speed game?
I've never been more ready for anything in my entire life. Yeah, baby. Lay it on me right freaking now.
All right, so I just have like a couple of questions for you, and the reason I called it 3-2-1 speed is because I'm going to ask you the question and you try to answer it as fast as you can. No timer, no nothing, just as fast as you can. Just trying to incorporate a little bit of fun in here.
This is beautiful. Naomi, I'm so pumped up. Let's get it.
All right. Ready? Three,
Yes.
2-1. Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite sport?
Basketball.
Favorite sports team?
New York Giants.
Favorite food?
Chicken parm.
Favorite place to visit?
New York City.
Favorite singer or band?
Chris Brown.
Favorite song?
Favorite song right now would be Hats Off by Lil Durk, Lil Baby, and Travis Scott.
Mm. Favorite TV show?
Ooh, Entourage.
Favorite thing to do in your free time?
Favorite thing to do in my free time? I like freestyle rapping. I'll also say tennis, basketball, and podcasting.
Nice. And that is the end of our little game right there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Naomi,
All
I love
right.
how you're incorporating a little 3, 2, 1 action into your show. That's the beauty of life. We can all learn from each other. We can all be there for each other. There's no competition, Naomi. When you see what I do, when I see what you do, I don't view you as my competition. You should never view me as your competition. You should never view me as better than you. I'm never going to view you as better than me. I'm going to respect someone who's doing it, loving it, and going for it. And I will always be there for someone like you because I know you'll always be there for someone like me. No comparisons, no jealousy, no, oh, he's done more of this or she's done more of this. She has more success. He has more success. No, you're in your own world. You're in your own lane. We tip our caps. We show respect. We show love. We're all trying to win. So if we can do anything together to help each other get to the pinnacle, I'm all in. That's the way it has to be.
Absolutely, Billy. Thank you. And yeah, of course, there is no room for jealousy or, competition in my heart. So much love and respect to you. And like, I really admire the work that you do.
Thank you so much. I admire you having me on your show, starting your own show. You just graduated. I tell people all the time when they ask me, why didn't you start a podcast after school? I didn't know. I wasn't there yet. I had to go through what I went through. I had the best 3 years of my life in news. I didn't know I wanted to start a podcast. How am I supposed to have things figured out? It's easy to look back and be like, oh, yeah, I wish I started this earlier. No, we go through these experiences to learn lessons. And now when I see someone
Exactly.
who's so young, fresh out of school, really starting it up, starting her own platform, it's beautiful. It just shows me, Naomi, that you believe in yourself. You don't care what anybody else thinks. You love yourself. You love what you're about. You're proud of yourself and you're doing it. So many people talk about doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. You should smile every second knowing you're a killer. You're a beast. Way to be, Naomi. Way to be.
Thank you, Billy. Thank you. I couldn't have said that better myself.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just here to state the facts. You could think I'm a nice guy. You could think I'm a nut. You could think I'm crazy. You could think anything you want about me. All I know is I'm here to tell the truth. No more lies. No more telling people what they want to hear. It's what they need to hear because there's no other way. Sometimes the truth hurts, but would you rather live the truth or live a bunch of lies where everybody just feels all weird the whole time? Heck no. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm here to facts. So that's why I said all I had to say.
That's perfect. Would you like to share your social media handles before we end our interview?
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at one numerical one Billy Floyd. That's at one Billy Floyd. And then on Instagram for Who's on the News at Who's on the News. Very simple. That's where you can find me. That's where you can tune in to Who's on the News, the 321 show. It's a blast. It is special. We love social media. That's how we connect. That's how we found each other. We love it, Naomi. We love it.
Absolutely. So your Twitter and Instagram was at one Billy Floyd, and your Instagram for Who's on the News was at Who's on the News, correct?
Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
And where can people listen to your podcast?
Oh, everywhere. You name
Everywhere.
it, everywhere. iTunes, Spotify,
Spotify.
Google, you name it, it's on there. Great listens because I had great talent share exceptional stories of what it's like to work in news. Specific episodes highlight specific topics. We have the small market experience. We have people who are health trainers on the side. We have people who are social media stars, people who started during the pandemic, people who went through a life change with their health, losing weight. We have everything. You name it, we highlighted it. Meteorology. Oh, it's been the greatest. Longtime legends, young legends growing up in their community where they came back after school to do the news. Everything is covered. The best people in the business telling their stories. Exceptional, baby. We love it.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks, Billy.
You got it, Naomi. Thank you so much for having me. Whenever you need anything, I'm right there. I got you. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to The Santana Show with Naomi Santana. Interesting guests and insight with good conversation. You can follow Naomi on Twitter at Naomi Santana 45 and The Santana Show at The Santana Show _. Please subscribe to The Santana Show on YouTube. Thank you for listening. Join Naomi again next time on The Santana Show.